Bye.
My name is Greg Schaefer,
Yeah.
and we are going to be playing some Legacy tonight. Well, not us, but
You were close.
we'll be watching it.
There we go, yeah. We'll observe Legacy tonight. We are here in beautiful Chicago, Illinois, on the north side of the city.
Yeah.
Loving life, loving winter.
MTGCardMarket is the store we are at, if you couldn't tell from the banner behind us,
Yeah.
or our t-shirts, which we may have gotten about 10 minutes ago.
And it's great.
They're very nice.
We're looking real snazzy, I would say.
Yeah, they're super cool.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch a little bit of Legacy tonight.
Yeah, and we are gearing up also for our Modern 2K on Saturday, which you can see a call out for in the corner of the screen over here.
Neither of us can do this. Terrible. But yeah, this Saturday there's going to be a 2K here in Modern. We're going to be streaming that. We'll be casting. And it's going to be really sweet. It's going to be the first event post-bannings or post-release of both of the Gatewatch.
Yeah.
So hoping to see maybe some new brews, maybe some, certainly going to be a lot of the same, at least in some aspect.
Yeah, probably just a definite metagame shift.
Yeah.
And essentially 2 tier 1 decks got nerfed, killed.
I think the best combo deck in the format and the best
control deck.
Best blue deck in the format, I would say. That's the thing. That's what's so good about it. It wasn't a control deck. But yeah, Twin gone, Bloom gone, new Modern.
Yeah.
For now, we've got some Legacy action for you. We got 2 players sitting down. Let's hop on down to the play area. Oh yeah, look at these shufflers going crazy. Steak and Whiskey. The event may be full. You can pre-register on MTGCardMarket.com. I'm legitimately not aware.
I think I was told that it filled up overnight.
It filled up overnight. Wow.
With 80 people.
All right. Yeah. So 80 people have pre-registered and joined. If that's the case, I'll double check right now.
It doesn't hurt. It's sold out on the website right now.
It has filled up. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I would check the website if you were really intent on playing, or if you really, really want to play, because you never know. People might get a return or something.
Mm-hmm. All right. Both players look in their opening hands. Both hands look great. Kyle's hand has the usual fare of weird and bad creatures in many colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see the wonderful combination of Baleful Strix into Imperial Recruiter. And Andrew Sanders looks really good. So we got a Taiga leading on Exploration, and then a Wood of Foothills.
The openings that have Exploration in lands are just so much better.
Oh my god, it's night and day.
Yeah.
The deck is okay without it, and amazing with it.
Right.
All right, looks like Kyle's starting things off with a Fetch and a Deathrite Shaman.
This is one of the better tools in the Allurin deck for at least interacting with lands.
It's more or less your only way of interacting, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Outside of actually just killing them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kyle wisely playing around any possible wastelands, getting a basic forest. It is nice. It's strange to me, but nice that there are multiple basics in the Allurin deck. Again,
which is 4 colors.
Yeah, it's 3 and a splash.
It's like mostly a green-blue deck.
Right?
Oh, a bug deck.
I mean, mostly a green-blue deck with 4 Baleful Strix.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mana is stretched.
It's interesting.
The red mana is the least essential.
Yeah.
It's just for Recruiter, which you don't necessarily need to cast until you're even going off.
So it looks like cards in Bowman's hand here. He has a Crucible of Worlds and a Punishing Fire, which I wouldn't be surprised to see cast this turn.
Yeah, especially because he has a Crucible of Worlds in his hand that he wants to at least get value off of with the Wooded Foothills. Mm-hmm. So his option was either just play it this turn, get a land, and pass. But it's probably better to choke Kyle on mana a little bit.
Yeah, just active Deathrite Shaman is so powerful.
The downside with the way that Kyle is fetched here is that he's fetched Forest instead of Swamp, so now he can't cast turn 2 Baleful Strix. He can Thoughtseize this turn, or Cabal Therapy. Probably just Thoughtseize. I figure if he's going to get a land here, probably a Swamp.
Yeah, if he's going to continue the trend of playing around Wasteland.
At least as much as he can.
Yeah. The thing about Bowman's hand here, he doesn't really have much left.
Yeah, he's got 2 cards left in his hand. One of them's a Crucible of Worlds, which is just, thinning his deck every turn. Not really an exciting development.
And I don't think he has Grove in his hand either, right? Oh, so he has Loam.
Does have Loam, though. Yeah. So, having Loam puts him in a much better class of hands.
Yeah, it'll take a turn to get going, but once it does, then things can start getting out of control.
And Kyle, of course, taking the Crucible instead of the Loam, not giving Andrew the free dredge.
Makes sense.
All right, we'll see if Andrew draws anything of note here. Yeah, we see Life from the Loam cast, targeting Wooded Foothills.
Just gotta start dredging.
And plays a Port.
Ooh, drew Port.
Port's a great draw.
Really good draw.
And now it's really just, what is he going to dredge into?
Yep.
Andrew, of course, immediately porting. Kyle has to decide what he wants to hit, and he goes for the black mana.
Okay.
Kyle draws Brainstorm.
Yeah, no more lands. And he doesn't have a blue source. So here we see Kyle actually getting punished for fetching these basics.
Yeah, he's played around Wasteland, but
He successfully cut himself off from casting any spells.
any spells in his hand. Dark Wars, thank you for following.
Thank you very much.
Love seeing some new followers in
Yeah.
here. Yeah, so now Andrew, it's up to the top cards of his deck, but he's effectively drawing 3 cards a turn with each dredge. Or he gets to see 3 cards a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Explosives, Tranquil Thicket, which is a nice one, and an Exploration.
Thicket's definitely a nice one.
Yeah. And now he just gets to draw an extra card on top of that.
It's an extra dredge.
Yes. It's an extra 3 cards, is that
Yeah.
what you would say? Yeah. Does he just main phase
I think.
cycle? I mean,
I guess maybe it doesn't matter.
yeah, he's just going to pass and port.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't doing anything else with his mana there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
so
forgot to play the
second
Foothills
mana.
there. Probably has like another Taiga in his deck. Andrew is known to play more spread out variations of the lands deck.
Yeah, we see him here with the blue splash. He has, I think, some copies of Intuition in his deck.
Definitely Academy Ruins if there's explosives in there, and the
Also just lets him get explosives for 3.
for 4.
4
He has
off
Taiga.
of... Oh,
Red, green,
blue...
black. His Bayou as well.
Bayou, okay.
Not sure what the black mana is for. Usually there's like Urborg also in these decks if you're playing that. Oh, he also gets Teleria West.
Oof.
Which is a nice tutor engine in the deck, and he just drew Teleria West, speaking of. So he can go get,
Any land.
yeah, it's just the world is his oyster.
I mean, Teleria West represents half the combo, if you want it to be.
And he does have depths in his yard. Actually has 3 lands to get back here, Thicket, Grove, and Dark Depths. Yeah, Andrew very, very firmly in the driver's seat here. I wonder what you trim for these sort of cards. Like from the standard land stack.
I mean, maybe it's like some repeated copies of like Maze of Ith, or maybe the Tabernacle. I don't know.
I can also see parts of the combo going.
Or like Mana Bond maybe goes.
Yeah, I saw Andrew. I know in particular is a big fan of Mana Bond.
Big fan of. Okay.
Yes, he fan of Mana Bond.
Maybe there's no gamble. He has Intuition instead.
Yeah, I don't think there. I would be surprised if there are any gambles. Ooh, full.
Oof.
It's 3 Teleria Wests.
So his tropical islands have been
tropicals.
altered to look like what are those really Guru
lands? Yeah, it's like Guru Trop.
Yeah.
And he goes and gets stage here, which goes in his hand. So next turn he gets to put both the combo in. That's awesome. Seeing that no excessive use of caps has been applied to Grandfly. Why doesn't it just auto ban him?
No, we can't ban Grandfly.
No, we can't ban him.
Grandfly
Vanabond, that was the spam. Okay, so a fun aspect is that it tells us that the spam has shown up, even though it's deleted. But yeah, excessive caps. Watch yourself.
We're trying a little more aggressive moderation in the chat.
Yeah.
These days. I think frowny faces are also not allowed Grandflies, so please none of that.
Yeah, keep it under control. Andrew gonna dredge Loam here, milling over Intuition, Exploration. And just going to play the combo and pass. And there's basically nothing Kyle can do about this.
Yeah, he is extremely behind in this one.
That's a great question, Rudy. Why are they letting me do commentary? I think it's for lack of a better option.
I think because you're my friend.
I think that's why, yeah.
Or hated enemy.
Yeah.
They know we'd have some good sparks.
That's got to be it.
Yeah.
Kyle's scooping it up, and we're going to game 2 here. Not drawing any of the colors he needs to cast any of his spells. Really just a unfortunate series of draws there.
Yeah, I mean, I think what really won the game there for Bowman, aside from Kyle getting, screwed on mana, is the fact that Bowman kind of he helped mana screw him in the sense that he killed the Deathrite, he got Port going, and by the nature of his deck, it made Kyle so scared of Wasteland that he just didn't get actual blue mana.
Yeah, Kyle very aggressively played around the Wastelands that just never showed up.
Yeah. It just played right into the Punishing Fire.
Exactly. So the Punishing Fire aspect of it was... I mean, it was really not the Punishing Fire that got him through. I mean, some of it was Kyle, like, maybe he should have just fetched a Swamp on turn 1.
Maybe. Instead of Forest, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. When your mana base is that stretched, it's really hard to fetch basics.
Yeah. Basics are, they're
There's
fickle.
a cost.
Yeah, there's a real cost to putting basics in your deck in this format. I think Grandfly would know better than most.
Yeah. Sometimes they're great.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you play like 11 planes in your deck because
I think the 11th
I don't know what
is a
made you do that.
mistake, personally.
Oh, I see. The 11th planes.
Good cards.
Yeah, I can't say what it is exactly. People really like playing 1-mana 1/1s in Legacy.
I do like doing that.
I will.
When they are called Mom.
I won't get sick of it. I'll never not find it amusing, the sort of cards that people insist on playing. Both players looking at the sideboard here. I'm not sure if Kyle has anything particularly powerful. Looks like he's looking at a Swan Song, a Crozen Grip, possible options. Something like Surgical Extraction would be pretty great, but I'm not sure what else he has to bring there. Oh, it looks like he's thinking of trimming some of his discard spells, which makes sense. Discard's really not great against
It's
lands.
not.
Past the first couple turns of the game.
Yeah, it's good on turn 1 maybe against. I mean, it's only good against like some hands. Like, what do
Yeah.
you really want? What is your best possible hit? It's Exploration.
Exploration
right?
by
That's it?
far,
That's
yeah.
it?
I mean, what does Andrew have in his deck that's scarier? I mean, if Andrew's aware that Kyle is playing Aloran, then you can Thoughtseize Crozen Grip.
Sure.
That's a card.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably Andrew's only way of interacting with the enchantment itself.
Yeah. That makes sense. Or unless he engineered explosives for 4.
Sure, the EE for 4 may be sufficient in that regard. He can do it, as we saw. All he needs is, 4 lands of different colors. Yeah. That's, I don't know, that's 2 Trops and a Taiga and a Bayou. He did that last game. Easy.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all. But I have to figure that the matchup doesn't get much easier for Kyle. Really, he's just hoping he doesn't get mana screwed. I mean, this is sort of an issue when you're playing a several color deck against lands. They punish you.
The matchup doesn't seem horrific, but maybe it is. It's kind of hard to tell.
I really can't tell. As we said, lands is so much better when they have exploration on the play.
I guess the draw was just pretty solid from Bowman.
Yeah, his draw was good. Kyle's draw was subpar, and he was punished for playing around Wasteland, where a lot of times you're rewarded for doing something like that.
Yeah.
I think that might have been more of an anomaly. I was thinking that the Alluran decks would certainly have a shot because it's hard to impossible to interrupt their combo, specifically with Punishing Fire. Like, Punishing Fire is annoying. I mean, it kills Deathrite Shaman, which, as we said, is his best form of interaction.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, what is he going to kill? Baleful Strix? Imperial Recruiter? Like,
Sounds good.
All of Kyle's creatures are bad. That's like the main tenet of Alluran. That's kind of why I like it so much. Kyle looking as opener here. I see the Crozen Grip he's brought in.
I see a Trop. Do you see any other lands that are fetching there?
Dreamstalker, Brainstorm.
Is it a 1-land Brainstorm hand?
Ooh, it might be.
Do you have the stomach?
I believe there's also a copy of Alluran in his hand as well. We'll see if he decides this is good enough. I mean, the 1-lander with Brainstorm would certainly be interesting. We'll see what he starts things off with. Oh, he's got a Deathrite.
All right.
Deathrite's an excellent start. Especially because it's extremely unlikely that Andrew can kill us. Was that an Oblivion Stone?
That can't be.
Can't be, right? Like, no way?
I want to say it can't be.
Ah, yes. The most powerful Teleria West, tapped on turn 1.
There's a basic island.
Oh, that's great.
So if there wasn't a second land to begin with, there is now.
Oh, yeah. Get in there. Something you don't see Deathrite do a ton.
That's the hidden mode on Deathrite Shaman. Attack for 1.
Sylvan Library. That's a really, really solid start for Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a Deathrite to interact with any sort of actual land shenanigans going on, loam shenanigans on that side of the board, and he's got a way to draw extra cards, find himself out of this, I guess, really mana, low mana situation.
Yeah. Here we're seeing the other side of lands. No exploration, no mana bond, and Bowman's first 2 turns have been port you.
Okay, so Bowman is porting Kyle on his upkeep. Oh man, is he going to brainstorm? This is... okay. So, this is actually... I don't know if this interaction's going to come up. The way Sylvan Library is worded, I'm going to have to pull up the Sylvan Library right here. So at the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards. If you do choose 2 cards in your hand drawn this turn, for each of those cards, pay 4 life or put the card on top of your library. So what actually can happen here, and I don't know, I mean, this is something that needs to be confirmed by basically a spotter, is that he could, did he library?
I didn't see it happen.
So if you brainstorm in your upkeep, you can put back cards that you drew off that brainstorm from the Sylvan Library.
Okay.
After, like, from the Sylvan Library trigger. Like,
well, that's a little weird.
It's extremely weird. It is a really sort of obnoxious interaction that doesn't come up very often. I mean, more often than not, we find Sylvan Library in decks that... You did use Library? Okay, thank you. More often than not, you find Library in decks that don't also have Brainstorm. Yeah, he has the same number of cards, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a legal play.
Thank you for not using Cap's Grand Fly.
Looks like Kyle holding up Swan Song this turn for anything that Bowen might decide to play. I was right.
Oh,
I knew
boy.
It. I just knew it.
Maybe there is a... I don't...
But does he Swan Song it is the question. He has Crows and Grip. He probably doesn't Swan Song it. And Abrupt Decay. Yeah. Although the Decay is not currently castable.
It's not.
All right, Library. Let's see if we find it.
Black Source.
Doesn't appear like we do. I believe the last card he sees is Cavern Harpy.
Oof.
Oh my god. Wow, it deletes all your messages? That's pretty funny. Excessive use of caps.
If I had one word to describe Grant Fly in general, I would choose the word excessive.
I would as well.
So I immediately trust Mubot's opinion.
Oh, yeah, I agree. All right, so Kyle electing to draw a bunch of these cards because...
He has to get through them.
Yeah.
And he's black mana.
He draw 2 of them?
I think so.
12?
Seems right.
Cool. I figured this... I mean, the decay not really castable at this moment, but have to assume that Crows and Grip's just going to go after this Oblivion Stone just so Kyle can use his mana. Wow. A bunch of really bad lands being played on Andrew's side. He's played both of Teleri West and Tranquil Thicket, which I don't think you ever want to play.
It's hard to say that either deck seems to be operating at peak efficiency this game.
Basically nowhere near. Andrew activating Port on Kyle's upkeep, assuming targeting a tropical island here.
Seems likely.
Kyle lets that happen. Let's see if he finds any mana.
I see a Brainstorm.
And a Reclamation Sage.
Sage is... Well, he needs another land.
Sage is almost good.
Port.
Almost good.
Port is so good. Hello, Cook the Fourth.
Port is, being all right.
All right, only drawing 1 here.
Yep, not paying any life. Putting the Brainstorm in his hand.
Yeah.
So does he want to see a card deeper?
He's getting aggressive.
Oh, yeah. Whispers of the Muse. And our extra card it's the Taiga? Oh, the yes.
I think he needed the red mana this turn.
That's maximum punishment.
What's going back? Is that a divert?
No, it's 2 Dreamstalkers.
Oh, God.
Put those 1/5s away, although they don't die to Punching Fire. Oh, yeah. This is the exact land we want to draw.
Gotta make your land drops.
It's got a Shardless Agent, a Reclamation Sage, Crows and Grip, Swan Song, Cavern Harpy. A lot of
uncastables and a Swan Song.
Yeah, that's really what it's looking like here. Really a comedy of errors on that side of the table.
Swan Song's an interesting one to bring in. I guess you want to stop Punishing Fire, and I guess also it lets you counter a turn 1 exploration.
Yep. It also it does counter alone, which is not irrelevant.
Yeah, that's fair.
It can often be...
Does enough.
Yeah, it can often be the difference maker. It also it counters artifacts as well, right?
Sometimes it's what kills you.
Does it counter? I'm not going to say if it does.
No,
it does not counter artifacts. That's yeah. I was going to suggest that it counters engineered explosives, but that is certainly not the case. Looks like Andrew's is he gonna let him library?
I think.
Do you think Kyle in his upkeep is just gonna snap off the Crows and Grip? Because that would be delightful to me. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I adore Crows and Grip for exactly that reason. Let's see if Andrew decides to port then, and he does.
Yeah, Steak and Whiskey. Bowman's version of lands that he's been trying out for a while now is definitely not the stock list.
It's more like it's control lands, I think is the term he's gone for. Oh boy. And the third card down is Carpet of Flowers?
Yes.
Huh. I guess Andrew played like 3 tropical islands in that last game, and if he, I mean, this just happens to be a game where Andrew's not played a single island.
Yeah, I can't imagine that this is really the matchup where you want Carpet, is it? How many islands?
I can't really speak to it, you know.
Yeah.
So he saw 3 islands last game,
right.
But they were all tropical islands. Like they weren't like. It wasn't like you're playing against Delver. I think he just assumed it would be. If it's plus any mana, it's worth
good
playing
against the port deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not unreasonable.
Yeah. I mean, if he had cards to board out.
Oh.
Okay.
He's got an island now.
Perfect.
And Step Thespian Stage Tropical Island. Oh yeah. Well, now he can. They can do a bunch of fun things. He's got explosives, his own Crows and Grip. Yep, did board him in.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think he also has a Dark Confidant in his hand, which is a nice one. All right, 2 mana here. See what Andrew's got this turn.
Is this going to be explosives for... No.
It's Abrupt Decay.
Was he... Yeah.
Killing the Deathrite Shaman.
Really speaks to the power of Shaman.
And there's Dark Confidant. Something else? Second Dark Confidant. Good lord. Wonder if Kyle brought in Minister of Pain.
You know... I don't know if you'd really foresee this being the matchup for that.
Oh, it's Brainstorm. That's the art on that one. And let's see if Kyle finds a black source. Nope, he just found a black card. Just found Baleful Strix.
Yeah. Why not?
Baleful Strix, Dreamstalker. Do you think... I mean, at this point, do you just play Dreamstalker to block?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what else you're doing.
Not anything.
Basically nothing.
And it appears that Kyle is at 12. You can see it on his scoreboard right there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so his options are like he can play Carpet this turn, and it is effectively free just by going to his second main phase. He does. Oh, Carpet actually makes black mana because Carpet is for any color.
Okay.
Oh, or
you can kill him.
Or. Let's see.
What do you think is better, playing Dreamstalker to block,
or winning the game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's see. Let's see if he's got it. All right, so here we start. See, Andrew actually got himself. He should have just held these Allurans.
So let's pull up Alluran so we can take a look at what that card lets you do. So
creatures with CMC 3 or less are free and have flash.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
So all of these creatures that we see coming into play here, including Baleful Strix, Shardless Agent, Dreamstalker, Return Baleful Strix, all being cast for free off of Alluran. Also can be cast at instant speed, as Phil mentioned.
Yes. Land for turn.
The instant speed aspect against decks, with open mana and potentially removal is pretty valuable because you can just wait on it, essentially. All
right, so Kyle casting many things this turn. He went Baleful Strix, drawing a Dreamstalker, Shardless Agent, hitting a Dreamstalker.
Value.
Dreamstalker. The first Dreamstalker returned Baleful Strix. The second one returned Shardless Agent.
Jeez.
He's doing some things,
Yeah.
See if Cavern Harpy? Good lord.
Cavern Harpy lets you, when it comes into play, you return a blue or black creature to your hand.
Oh yeah. We're gonna see some stuff.
Yeah, and since he has a Alluran in play, he's basically gonna be able to go through his deck here.
I think he puts his deck in play.
I mean, it depends. Like, he only has so much life to pay because, he's gonna be cascading though every time. I think all he needs to find is Imperial Recruiter though.
Well, he can't cascade into that.
Oh, true.
What he can hit... Well, Parasitic Strix also costs 3. I think after a certain point he has to bounce...
Strixes to draw cards?
Yeah, Baleful Strix. Let's see.
Maybe he's just going to make a full board and...
He could put his basically his deck in play.
Yeah, he's just going to put 10 power into play. More, really.
There's a bunch of recruiters. he hits Decay.
Cast Decay, sure.
Hits Decay, killing a Bob. I mean, this isn't bad.
It's good enough, it seems like. I mean, this loses to, like, well, not loses outright, but Tabernacle would be good against this plan, I guess.
Yep. All right, so there's Baleful Strix, draw a card. Oh, there's Recruiter.
Okay. I think now...
Well, now he just goes to get a Parasitic Strix and wins the game.
Yeah, that lets him fully combo out.
Yeah, it's actually lethal. So for those unaware, the Parasitic... He's forgetting to shuffle his Cascades. That's true. He did not shuffle his Cascades. Recruiter, gets Recruiter, gets... Let me guess. Recruiter? Also has Witness to get, like... Everything is fair game at this point. Gets Recruiter, gets Parasitic Strix. So the way this works is that he casts Parasitic Strix, which drains his opponent for 2, pays a life to return Cavern Harpy, plays Cavern Harpy again, gets back Parasitic Strix, plays Parasitic Strix, and just bounces them basically intermittently until Andrew dies. And that's game 2.
You want to pull up Parasitic Strix here?
Sure.
So here we got to see Allure do its thing, which is pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, another metal bird. This deck has all the metal birds.
It's great.
But yeah, when it comes into play, if you control a black permanent, which you will, Cavern Harpy.
Among others.
Yeah, and everything in play.
Yeah.
So he plays this, it drains his opponent for 2. So it's basically Kyle is gaining 1 life for each loop, and his opponent is losing 2 life on each loop of Strix plus Cavern Harpy.
Doesn't take very long.
Yeah, and what's pretty impressive about this deck is that, Kyle didn't do anything in that game. Kyle never had any black mana.
He cast Allurin.
He just cast Allurin and killed his opponent.
Yes.
Because that's what this deck does. Like sometimes it's effectively a 1-card combo. Especially because you can win off of just a single Imperial Recruiter.
Yeah. So like it's not literally a 1-card combo because you do need other things, but the other things is there's like a variety that what it could be.
Often the deck plays out like a kind of a crappy Shardless Bug deck. It's extremely janky, like because it's playing a bunch of loose creatures.
I mean, it definitely looks bad.
Yeah, on paper, right? Like, what it benefits from is that all of the creatures cantrip for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, or are very effective, like Deathrite Shaman, like Baleful Strix and Shardless Agent. You play a bunch of those. You usually play a bunch of therapies. Ooh, is Kyle bringing them back in? He is.
Another point of value in Allure is a chunk of Legacy players have not played against it, and they don't know what to kill during the combo turn.
And when.
Yes.
So, like, for instance, you don't want to kill anything with Cavern Harpy in play.
Yes.
Or if you know where Cavern Harpy is, really.
Yeah, you need to, like, kill the Dreamstalker with the Cavern Harpy on the stack.
Yes. Cavern Harpy on the stack is the safest time to cast a removal spell in the deck because of the way Allure works.
Lets you instant speed the creatures.
Yeah. Like if at any point Cavern Harpy is in play or in your hand, if you try and kill one of the important combo pieces, for instance Dreamstalker, for instance Parasitic Strix, you can always just flash in Cavern Harpy and return it because all the relevant cards are blue or black.
Right.
All the relevant creatures, excuse me. So when you're timing your removal, it has to be like that. The key when you're playing Allure is to never leave Parasitic Strix in the battlefield.
Sounds good.
And it's not always like you're supposed to like respond, I think, to these triggers, but I'm not sure how much it matters.
The first thing that you saw Kyle do there is get all 4 recruiters.
Yes.
So it gives him more options to get like additional copies of other creatures that he might need at different points to protect himself if weird things came up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like here, it wasn't very relevant because Bowman was tapped out. It doesn't really seem like lands would ever play anything for 0 mana to interact with this.
Nope, I would especially not. I mean, it could be a creature.
Yeah,
just flash in like a Bone Shredder. Bone Shredder is not a good option. Does not kill any of these things.
Not ideal.
Yes, because Parasitic Strix is an artifact.
Yeah,
and Cavern Harpy is black.
But Allure can beat like a single Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, Swords is probably the one that's best against them because of the exiling stops any loops against with Eternal Witness. But like Lightning Bolt is just very easy to beat.
Yeah, there's a few deck building things you could do to protect yourself from like a single plow, like having a second Dreamstalker in your deck. I think protects you.
I think in play or in your deck.
You want it in your hand, right? You want another way to bounce.
Yeah, you get the second one. Yeah.
And that's why just getting all 4 recruiters is so essential and like just the smart first thing to do because it just gives you way more options with Allure.
Absolutely. The second Dreamstalker is basically free too.
Yeah. And it blocks well.
Yeah. But it's a pretty sweet deck. I like the deck a lot. That's why I decided to put on camera. Ooh, he does have Surgical Extraction. Look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was in his deck, but it is pretty great in this matchup. Looks like Andrew's a hand with multiple Dark Depths.
Kyle Norman is a big fan of Surgical Extraction.
Bigger than most, I would say. Certainly bigger than I am.
Big fan.
I've come around quite a bit on the card, but I used to basically go through great lengths to not put it in my deck.
Yeah, the less fair the formats get, I think the better this card can get.
Basically, yeah. It's extremely fringe, because like even against some combo decks, it's not good enough. Like, you board this in against like Sneak and Show, and they just cast Show and Tell.
Uh-huh.
They only need to resolve it once. They don't need a bunch of copies of it. Sure, it's going to be solid against a Storm deck. Mm-hmm. It'll be solid though, like not unbeatable.
Yeah, it's like game winning. At least in most scenarios.
Yes, there are like that's the thing with Surgical. The ceiling on this card can be extremely high.
Yeah.
But man, is the floor low.
Yeah.
I remember people used to just bring this in against other Snapcasters. Holy crap. Horrible. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. What are you accomplishing?
I think in general it's safe to say that it needs to be part of a larger plan.
Absolutely. All right, so Andrew fetching a Tropical Island. He's got a Bayou on turn 2, and this is a Sphere of Resistance.
Ooh. So this interacts with a Lurin, right? Does it affect a Lurin?
I am not a judge.
We got a judge in the chat?
I would. This is something that I would definitely have to ask a judge about. I would imagine the answer. I don't know when these taxing effects are applied.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything costs one more.
We get Cook the Fourth or any other legacy expert who knows the interaction between Sphere of Resistance and a Lurin.
Just no idea. Oh, what's the question? How does Sphere of Resistance and other specifically that taxing effect, work with a Lurin?
Or against it.
Sure, against it, whatever.
Do you have to pay one more?
Yeah. Do you have to pay one?
Yes, sorry.
I mean, here's the thing. Kyle's not that vulnerable to this card. He does have,
Abrupt Decay.
And he's shown Crows and Grip and Reclamation Sage. So, yeah, Lurin makes them cost 0, so I would assume